How's more circumstances invest? We're talk about investing, finance to professional development. For today's entertainment purposes only. The investment we're going to talk about today will be Ethereum. See that I'm going back to the old intro per your request. Respect to recording time of 5:41 p.m. on the Eastern Time, Ethereum contracting $3,997, that about 0.48% so far. Respect to overall crypto market, see clearly the altcoins are surging more prominently than the key coins, while some selective altcoins are just kind of flat at the moment. In respect to overall equity market, we saw a relatively healthy green day again, with Dow Jones closed at, in a green territory, and also in a post-market perspective, they're all up respectively. If you look at the chart, currently Dow Jones is up about 0.06%, Nasdaq is still surging 1.18%, while SPY is also up about 0.07% as well. I personally actually bought further dips into selective stocks earlier today. I bought more Virgin Galactic, I bought more Neo. Tesla, I'm actually just holding on. It seems like we are surging again, but I do have a relatively sizable position already. I am eyeing more on Palantir and Alibaba at the moment. So I haven't really pulled the trigger today, but I'm looking into building up my Palantir position. Seems like we are consolidating nicely. But obviously, Palantir is a more of a long-term play. There is still a lot of Mercury's going on, despite there's a relatively unique value proposition in the business model perspective. But in terms of the communicative front, there's like a miscommunications or a lack of understanding between Wall Street valuation versus what Palantir does, right? Knowing the fact it's kind of a mysterious little company. Not little company, I would say it's a relatively sizable. It's a $33 billion in enterprise value business. So it's relatively sizable. And there's a lot of untapped space for this company to capture, on the commercialization front. So I'm looking into buying more. I'll take a look at the technicals in a little bit, to give you guys more of a confirmatory signals as to what I'm doing next. So I'm looking into it right now. It seems like Palantir is definitely an interesting buy, for more of a long-term hold, if you may, right? I feel like I'm going off topic again, but I'm just like telling you guys what I did today. But with respect to Ethereum, as a recording time again, right, close to about 6 p.m. on the Eastern Time right now, is hovering just above or, the 3,875. And currently, we are approximately just $2 away from 4,000 mark, right? And we know that 4,000, just giving the benefit of the doubt, is not really a substantive level of consolidation. A real level is the 4,150, right? And that's something we've been mentioning over and over again. And it seems like the pattern is still relatively bullish. And on a technical front, which we'll dive into first, and then we'll go into news later. Right now, it seems like we're forming like a bull flag. And this is something that looks relatively comparable if you look at some of the bull flags that have formed historically. And what confirms it with me as well is that we are forming a more of a golden cross right now. Oh, at least about to form the golden cross, and at the same time we're at the neutral level. So Ethereum, I actually see this as a relatively bullish setup, as a whole on a technical front. Everything checks out so far. So I feel relatively excited actually that for you to maybe incurring some risk right now, it's not even terrible because it seems like the bull flag is relatively, display here. You could see clearly there's if you draw like a triangle here, right? Just one line crossing down and merging with this line, and then and draw another triangle going upward. You see that it looks like a flag, right? And this is like the classic bull flag type of setup. And as we percolate even more, it'll get squeezed tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. Eventually, it's gonna surge up from there. So watch out for it. I think it could be possible that Christmas or around the weekends that we'll see some buying pressure. It might just be a surprise. We don't know ultimately what the wells are going to be doing, but seems like that's the market telling us, based on the investment sentiment and also the market dynamics right now. Seems like a lot of investors holding and not moving for long term. So as we see more of this consolidated sideways fashion, it gives us more consolidated confirmatory signal that the surge is coming. So I do like this. With respect to Bitcoin right now, it's at about 47,900. Right now, it's just approximately close to 49,000, right? We are in a comparable setup, I would say, more of a downward wedge in comparisons to Ethereum that was more forming like a bull flag, obviously, right? So right now the 44 out of 70, so it's not terrible. Again, right, if you bought in the 45, 300, that was the better level, obviously, but now it's still not terrible. Let's just put it that way, right? Dogecoin at the moment is 1751. At the moment right now, anywhere from the 1626 to the bottom, like 15 is still not terrible. We're at the 44 out of 70. So I mean, Dogecoin, it is what it is, right? It is more of a meme coin in terms of the how you compare to other coins. So if you are gonna take your risk for the first time, especially, I would probably wait until we cool back down a little bit more. And respect to Cardano is up about close to 5%. We are above the 34, or just approximately up, at the 134, right? That's the level of consolidation. So right now it's either we go up to 145 or cannot sustain and come back down to like ideally at least at the 125 and possibly even 120. But 120 can be a little bit of a stretch right now because that's it wouldn't just come up and then come back down just like that unless there's something fundamentally wrong with Cardano, which I don't think so. Solana is currently down about 0.19, so it's not really doing much right now. Consolidate on a sideways fashion. Again, 155, 133 to 113 is still a better level for us, right? XRP is at 97 basically. We are above the 93, which is the level of consolidation. We are attempting to go to 101 right now. We are at the 60 out of 70, so we are relatively overbought, right? And you see this green candle has been surging up and away ever since on the 18th. So we've been surging for just a couple of days now. The reversal is real, and the reason is because this has been a downward wedge, right? And this confirms why the buying pressure, also with the overall market reversal supporting this momentum, right? So XRP I'll probably wait off, right? I probably would not be buying at this moment because it ran up relatively fast. But ultimately, if you believe in this long term, right? Buy now is why not, right? If you believe XRP is going to be $5 later, it's like these are relatively cheap levels at the moment. Polkadot is up about close to 9% right now. Downward wedge confirming, reversing, and the better dip was basically anywhere from the 23 to below, right? And right now it's at 28, so it's not terrible, but it's obviously not as good as we were before, right? ALGORAND is currently 138, 139 with the 41 out of 70, and this is like a more of a delay effects in comparisons to the other ones. We still have a downward wedge. We're about to form a golden cross. So I think if there's as we cross up, it's gonna surge up even more, right? So ALGORAND is still in a preliminary stage of the big surge coming. So interesting to see the setup right now. It seems like a lot of coins are reversing nicely. Shiba Inu is at the 35, 31 right now, surging just because of the overall market surging. Again, right, whoever bought in the dip at below 2,900 was the dip, right? Right now it's okay. We're not the best, not the worst, right? With the like high 40s out of 70, so it's like not the best. Again, not the worst. Again, it's just neutral. So I'll probably just like stay away from this one. MagTech's up about 9%. We are basically all-time high, right? All-time high was 265 that we got earlier today with the 65.70. So it's really up to you. I would say I wouldn't buy now because of the risk is relatively high. But we could have, a probability of surging even higher because we're in new territory. Then we don't know. It's ultimately based on a popularity contest, right? How hyped can we be, right? So it's really up to your risk aversion, but I would probably stay away because the risk is, much higher than when we were at the 175 to 143, right? Respect to AVAX is currently surging just as well. We are at the 60 out of 70. And I actually want to show you guys something. I was actually on the train earlier today. I went to the city with my dad, and I was just getting some dessert. I went to this place called Eileen Cheesecakes, which is in Soho. I don't know if you guys know where Soho is. So it's like the kind of cool hip area of Manhattan, the lower Manhattan. And I saw this on the train. It seems like they are doing some advertisements on AVAX. And you could see that not just one slide, like one post on the subway, on the train, that I think this was the N train, which goes to Queens, but also goes directly to downtown Manhattan as well. And also saw, like, you see a bunch of other advertisements that they're posting. You see, it's not just like one, right? My dad was sitting under here, and you could see that the whole entire train was just covered up by AVAX. Interesting to see that of all the other altcoins, this is like doing some ads. So it seems like there's some strong fundings for this. But right now, AVAX, would I be buying right now? I would probably not, because we're relatively overbought right now, to be honest with you. I would say, again, right, whoever bought in anywhere from below 81 to 60 was still a better dip for us, right? Luna, we are at the 89. We tried to get to 100, we couldn't, and immediately everybody sold. That's why we got there for like maybe 5 minutes, not even. We're at the 72 out of 70, so it's very overbought right now. So this is going to come down, definitely. And the first level that we come down to will be 76, and then we're going to kind of hover there a little bit. And ideally, again, right, I would not even touch this until we come back down to like 52. Again, like 50, bare minimum at 45 or 42-ish. I would not touch this right now. This is the, like maybe like, because I'm covering this for the first time or the second time per my first video earlier today, I would not chase this, because if you buy now, the risk is exponentially higher than ever. Especially we just reached all-time high today, and now we're just kind of selling back down, right? Remember, we surged from basically the 14th all the way to now, so whatever goes up really, really fast, come down just as fast, right? So I'll probably be watching how the drop will goes, but we know that we have identified some of the risk management levels that we will ideally dollar cost average at. So those are the levels that we'll go with, right? And then look at the news front. I'll say there's some news, but again, relatively trivial to non-substantive. The first one I see on Bazinga 1 hour ago talk about why Jack Dorsey says Bitcoin will replace the dollar. It seemed, he basically going off tangent with respect to the El Salvador commercialization that we've seen from yesterday, that the president bought 21 Bitcoin because of the 21 coincidental effects that we've seen because of December 21st, 2021, even though December is 1-2, not 2-1, right? So anyways, and he also talks about comparing Bitcoin with Ethereum, saying that Ethereum is no good. Which obviously we know he's a maximalist for Bitcoin, not for Ethereum. It seems like Mark Cuban is the other representations for Ethereum as a maximalist. So it seems like there's like more just debate or media stir on his Twitter post. He is a public figure. He is someone that speaks, and relatively opinionated with what he believes in. So it is good to know. It's more trivial than anything substantive, right? And then next one I see on board with respect to Bazinga 4 hours ago, with respect to Bored Apes Yacht Club, so an NFT of a monkey wearing a crown, and the monkey is smiling but with like a blank expression, with like full teeth, for 199 Ethereum. Interesting. And then the next one is talk about more Bored Ape Yacht Club transactions. Another picture of a monkey with a hat on, but he's wearing this heart-shaped sunglasses. So quite interesting. And then that's pretty much it on the news front. I would say the news is relatively just more regurgitation news, talk about what's going on recently, which we have been keeping tabs already. So with respect to risk management level, these are the levels identified so far, right? Again, for some of the altcoin, despite they're surging nicely, I'll probably just like way off right now, because like again, I kept saying buy, or suggesting. I mean, obviously, I am not right always. It's just my advice, right? Because the risk was relatively, at a tolerable level, at the attractive and stable levels for the respective coins. So It's up to you. And it seems like Ethereum is definitely bullish right now because the bull flag is here. It seems like the golden cross is forming. So that checks out. And the timing also checks out. And I don't foresee any like major negativity coming as well. So seems like it's gonna be a good Christmas this year. But who knows, right? That might be a black swan news that pops up that changes the course of nature. Who knows, right? Ultimately, I don't control the publication companies. I'm not aware that can do so either, nor is that the right thing to do. But anyways, really appreciate you for joining me again, and stay tuned for the club. Take care. Bye.